Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I'm Stip and this is going to be part 27 of my early campaign where I'm playing as England. And in the last episode I did actually encounter while I engaged the Mongols. Well, they engaged me, yeah, they attacked Edessa a couple of times and I was able to repulse them both times. However, just in the last couple of turns, they have continued to bring more and more soldiers down to this part of the map, which is concerning because, well, I was looking at these other forces that they have up here, and there's a big difference, isn't there? I mean, look at this. There's like barely anything. And this entire time, I was kind of hoping for the Mongols to be the ones that take the Poles out of this game and to really push them back, because the Poles have a scary amount of points, or they are going to be making a scary amount of points. I am ahead by 10 points, but they can catch up. They're making more. Their conquest points give them 1 point per province, which is insane. And they've conquered quite a bit. And I was hoping for the Mongols to be pushing them back west. They a lot of times do push in that direction. However, there might be a sign of a little bit of anti-player bias going on right here, because look at this. I mean, this is really something. And at the end of the last episode, I did count off all of the Mongol heavy cav that are in this region, or at least just the ones that are bordering me, which was a substantial amount. Just the Mongol heavy cav in Syria and Rum, not even counting the ones in Armenia, Georgia, and Trebizond. I don't need to count that many, but there's a lot of Mongol heavy cav, like a lot. So many. And I've already killed like a decent handful. And then looking up here, so how many do they have up here? A handful, a couple, so that's like 2. So 5 total in Crimea. What about Khazar? 1, 2 total in Khazar. Volga Bulgaria, 1 total. And then 1 more here in Ryazan. What about Chernigov? Anything? 2 more, 2.5 more-ish. So spread out, way different. Way different, don't you think? So, yeah, it's interesting. So the anti-player bias in this game is something that I have kept an eye on throughout my time playing this game, and I've had. Well, I'm glad to say that I don't have my mind made up yet on the point. There might be some other things going on, but for instance, when I was playing as the Danes, I didn't go any further east than Lithuania. I just held on to the provinces that border the Baltic, and that was it. I didn't go any further east. So Lithuania being a province that borders, you know, like it's like 7 provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, still got it. Awesome. And as I was preparing for the Mongols to arrive when I was playing as the Danes, I did stack Lithuania with just a mountain of soldiers. So I was prepared and I was able to beat them back in a couple of battles that were very decisive in my favor. And then the Mongols didn't do anything for the entire campaign. Based on my memory, they didn't do anything. The Poles had Kiev and they were weak. Like weak. They were very beatable. And the Mongols just looked at me. They wouldn't make a deal. They wouldn't have a ceasefire. Nothing. They wanted Lithuania. That was their goal. Which is weird, you know, because it's like, why? What's going on there, you know? That felt like an anti-player bias. But then I played Egypt last, and I'm pretty sure that we were pals, like, the entire time. You know, like, I feel like I got an alliance, like, right away, I think. And I held, you know, these territories. I didn't go any further, I don't think. I think I just had Syria, Edessa, Antioch. I don't think that I had initially had these other provinces. Eventually, I'm the one that attacked the Mongols. Just out of... I can't remember why, but I had a reason. But until then, it seemed like the Mongols were pretty okay to be chummy with me. I might be remembering that wrong, but I feel like I remember them just kind of, yeah, leaving me alone. I think. Again, I had a mountain of soldiers playing as Egypt. But that was no different than when I was playing as the Danes, you know, holding Prussia, Lithuania, Livonia, and Novgorod. Like, I just had just heaps and heaps and heaps of soldiers. And the Mongols still were like, you know, let's get this guy. You know, I was like, okay, fine, attack the strongest guy. They could, like, Kiev had, like, nothing. There was, like, 1 stack of Polish Slav javelins and, you know, very easily beatable. So I was curious to see and to observe this and to continue to try to figure out what's going on here with the anti-player bias, if there is such a thing, or if there is a factional bias or a religion bias. There's all these other possibilities. I know we're tempted to think that, you know, as the player, it's a bias against us. Maybe this is more and more confirmed in other Total War games. Maybe this is less so in this game. I don't really know. It's hard to make definitive observations on this, just because there's a lot going on here that just isn't told us, right? Factions seem to have certain preferences to take certain provinces based on their historical precedent that was set. Now, that's not like outright said at any point in this game, but I'm pretty sure, for instance, like that factions just kind of want, like they're fighting for their homelands, right? So that part makes sense if you have like a homelands objective. But the Mongols don't show up here in the glorious achievements panel. They're not playing the game, basically. They're just here to kill and to conquer. So what is their objectives? You know, do they have like a preset kind of historical precedent? It's hard to say, honestly. It's really hard to say, because, you know, historically, anything on the eastern side of the map is kind of fair game, as far as I know, when it came to the Mongols. Yeah, like just looking around, like I know they didn't go that far west into Anatolia, but they at least like went into the eastern part of Anatolia. And I know they didn't like outright conquer the eastern Mediterranean, you know, because the Mamluks kind of were resurgent and they were able to push back the Mongols and slash Byzantines as well. Yeah, right? Yeah. Ottomans. What am I thinking? Ottomans and Mongols. Yeah. But you know, what I'm trying to say though is the Mongols were definitely active, like, right? Like in the entire eastern part of this map, within their different hordes, right? The Golden Horde and whatever. So this being the Golden Horde, I actually don't know. Yeah. See, this is, I actually don't know. What was the Golden Horde's sphere? Were they north? Were they these guys? Because this was like the Ilkhanate, right? There was weren't there 3 active hordes or, gosh. See, I need to go back to my Mongol history. I don't know these things. But anyway, my point is, you know, we're fighting against the Mongols and they are probably going to continue to target Edessa. It's my most, what's the word? What am I trying to say? Overreached, gosh, what am I? Oh, words. Vulnerable? Gosh, overreached, vulnerable. There's a word for this being here. There's a word for that. I know there is. I know there's a word for that. But in any case, Edessa, Palestine, Tripoli, and Antioch can all support each other because they're all connected via my navies and the ports. And Edessa is over. It's something. It's overextended. Is that the only word that we have for this? It's in any case, anything that I have to send to Edessa has to go through Antioch, which also means that Antioch is pretty important too. I can't just send everything from Antioch to Edessa and then let them take Antioch. Now, Antioch is only bordered by the Mongols here in Syria, unlike Edessa, which is bordered by the Mongols in Syria and Rome. And we're allies with the Byzantines, so maybe that helps out as well, maybe. And as far as the battles between myself and the Mongols have gone, the two of them have gone quite well. This is another interesting thing with this game, which is that in previous campaigns where I've built up and prepared for the Mongols, I had, as I described before, many stacks, like just a bazillion stacks of men prepared for the Mongols. And when the Mongols attacked those provinces, they brought everything. Like they threw, 10 plus stacks themselves to attack my 10 plus stacks. However, in this case, when I'm kind of spread out and I only have like 2-ish stacks per province. They've only attacked themselves with like roughly the same numbers, a little less, a little more, but like roughly the same amount. And that's interesting. It's one of those things that I'm very curious to see if that's going to continue, because they definitely have the forces in Rum in Syria to really swamp Edessa. Like they could probably win that fight. Now I'm going to be doing my best here to reinforce Edessa as well as I can during this turn, but it really comes down to how much can I bring to Antioch, because as I just stated, I can't let Antioch fall. If I let Antioch fall, then Edessa's lifeline has fallen, and then I'll lose Edessa anyway. So there's no point in sacrificing Antioch for Edessa. You know, this has to come first, essentially. If I have to retreat the stronghold in Edessa and then just wait for reinforcements, that's fine. I'm 2 turns away from having the catapult towers finished up here in Edessa, so that's going to be a castle with 2 defensive upgrades. That's okay. That's okay. So, in fact, do they have artillery here? Let me remind myself. There's a mortar with only 3 crew. I don't know if 3 is enough to crew that mortar, because each artillery piece does require a certain amount of men to use it. And yeah, I don't know if 3 is enough, but it might be. Then they have a mortar here. That's 10 men, so that's enough men, I would imagine. And so a couple artillery pieces is what I'm seeing. And then a 1-man mortar crew. I would imagine that's useless. I don't think that 1 man is enough. I could be wrong. I feel like there is an artillery piece that can fire with only 1 man, maybe. I don't know. Now the good news is my billmen have been absolute monsters facing off against the Mongols. They have these guys have done so well, like scary well. They massacre the Mongol heavy cav. They have a +3 attack against cavalry, and then they have bonus versus armor. They're just cutting through the Mongol heavy cav, especially in the forests, especially on a hill. They have been very, very good. They make me even think that what's the point of spearmen? Like, they're that good, where I start to think, do I even need spearmen against all cav armies? The spearmen, I will say this. So in the last battle I went into it, I just had like 1 full strength unit of fearedmen, and I think that was it. So I was a little bit worried about that, but I had the 3 billmen, and you know, I had some more stuff as well, but those 3 billmen really did a lot of work. And I will say this though, having the 100-man spearman units is nice against the Mongols, with, you know, them having as many archers and horse archers that they bring. Having the 100-man units just to kind of soak up fire in the forests does feel somewhat better. Now, that would feel even better if I had access to chivalric sergeants. I don't think I'm training those right now. I could be getting those in AAA, but I mean, I'll take a billman over a chivalric sergeant any chance I get. But having a few of those would be nice because they're tanky, they're armored, they have a big shield, and like I just said, they have 100 men in them as opposed to the 60 men in the billman units. And that's an extra 40 guys just to kind of like take arrows and take shots to the face. You know, really soak up that firepower, which the billmen, as you can see, they're not carrying shields, so I believe their armor is decent, but it is still, you know, not carrying a shield does make things a little bit difficult when facing off against all archer armies. So yeah, having some spears would be nice. Having some specifically chivalric sergeants would be nice. Feudal sergeants, they're a little bit light on the armor. So, but still, it's a 100-man unit. So I'll take it if I can get it. It's just that every province that can train the billmen also trains the spearman units, and it's like, I think I'd rather just take the billmen. Now, I have to. Prince Henry's done well. This is my king's brother, I think. Maybe not. Wait, let me check. Prince Henry. Yeah, he's one of my king's brothers. He's done well, but unfortunately he's picked up the no mercy trait. This is from executing prisoners, and yeah, +2 dread's cool. -1 morale sucks. That really sucks, and that's one of those things in this game that I don't agree with. There's some vices and virtues in this game that I don't like. I think they're, I don't know, I don't think they really make too much sense. Now, I got the no mercy trait from executing prisoners twice. And I feel like, you know, if you do that a lot, then yeah, maybe, sure. And I was thinking about it during the battle too. I was like, I hope that twice isn't enough to get this trait. And then it was. And I was like, damn, that seems a little bit unforgiving. So -1 morale for the entire army that he leads. That's pretty rough. But he has natural leader that gives +2 morale. So it's a little bit, you know, mitigated by that. Still, there's that. There's another trait as well that I really don't like, which is the eager to retreat. And that happens when you, for instance, if you're doing like a feigned attack on a province, and then you retreat before the battle, during the pre-battle screen, you just click, you know, retreat or whatever. And that general can, I don't know if it happens automatically the first time that they do this, but if not, it doesn't take too many times of doing this to get this trait, which is eager to retreat. I don't remember the exact debuff. It's, you know, minus morale or something like that. And it sucks because feigned attacks are like a really normal thing to do from a military standpoint. It's just a very, very normal thing. And in Shogun, using the feigned attacks to blitz a region, I would just constantly attack. You can just attack every single turn in Shogun because you don't have to worry about those stupid gosh darn traits popping up. You can just attack and attack and attack and attack and attack and attack and attack. And you don't have to stop attacking because every single time you have a matchup where you look in the pre-battle screen and you see that they reinforce that province during that end turn and you don't like the matchup and you just go, oh, never mind. But by doing that, they've weakened another section of the line, and then you might have a unexpected breakthrough point where you go, oh, hey, they took 4 people from this region, which I'm attacking. Also, let's take this fight, but not this one. And you can pick and choose that during Shogun. Now, can you do all of this in this game? Yeah, you can, but you're going to get punished for it because your generals that are going to be retreating are going to be getting those bad traits, which sucks. It really takes away from that. It's just an organic thing in Shogun that just worked way much better. So way much better? Yeah, sure. And in this game, I could still do it, I suppose. I think that if I ever played a conquest campaign, that I would do that, but then I would have to make sure that the generals that I'm using for the feigned attack battles aren't real generals. They're not people that I'm really counting on to be my proper leaders. There's going to be like the captains or whatever, but that's not ideal because the whole point of what I just described in the way that it works in Shogun is that it's not always going to be the province that you're planning on taking that opens itself up to you. Sometimes the AI surprises you and abandons a province in favor of another one, and you want to take that fight. You want to have a general to lead that army in that fight. You don't want to just go, oh, here's my captain that's providing 0 buffs to this army. And sure, it's a good engagement, but it's so nice to have that general leading it, just for role-playing, reasons, but also for tactical reasons as well. So you can do it in medieval, but it doesn't work as well because you're going to get punished for it, which just feels stupid. It feels stupid getting punished for something that's just a legitimate thing to do, So that's unfortunate. But anyway, I got a little off topic there because I was complaining about his no mercy trait, but there you go. Good news is we are making a lot of money. We're making almost 14,000. That feels pretty good. I think do I have boats everywhere? I think I have boats everywhere that's important. Not the Malta Channel. That's the only place I could be trading with Malta, but I'm not. And for those of you who are new to this game, welcome. This is part 27, so I know this is going to be pretty wild, but this can be a little weird. Malta's here. So there's like this zoomed out section where it kind of shows that's Malta, but it's here. It's not in the central Mediterranean. I know, it's kind of weird. I think they do that somewhere else, right? Yeah, Rhodes, same thing. Like Rhodes is here, which is like, what? Right? Okay. I get it. But yeah, so I could be trading with Malta. As you can see, they have a port, but I'm not trading with them. It's owned by the Sicilians, who I'm neutral with, I believe. So that's the one last place I need to be getting boats into. Other than that, I think I'm everywhere else. Now, everywhere else that counts. There's a couple places that don't really matter. It's kind of a funny thing. For instance, okay, not the Norwegian Sea. I'm at war with the rebels, unfortunately, so there's no point in going to the Norwegian Sea. But then you have the North Atlantic, and then you have the Atlantic coast down here. And these are kind of these strange regions here because the Moroccan port is it's not here. So there's no point in having a boat here for trade purposes. So what's the point of the Atlantic coast? I think I don't know. If I'm trying to brainstorm here, I'm thinking that like if you're trying to attack it from sea and the Barbary coast and the Straits of Gibraltar are blockaded, then you can still attack from the Atlantic coast. That's very niche, but that's one reason. And then maybe also if your ships are blockaded up the Spanish coast, you could still get trade out from the Mediterranean into the North Seas by using the Atlantic coast and then the Atlantic Ocean. But no, you wouldn't need to do that because then, I mean, if this is being blockaded, you can still get out via the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, what's the point? I don't know. It's weird. And then same thing with the North Atlantic as well. There's no ports going into it. It's just so that you can, if you wanted to invade Ireland and Scotland and the Irish Sea and the North Sea are being blockaded, but you could still attack from, yeah, you know, it's like why? Like, what's the point? I guess if the English Channel is being blockaded, you could still get trade going around it is one thing. But you would need, for that to be important, it would have to be the English Channel and the Irish Sea being blockaded for this to be relevant. Very niche, I would say. So we have the sea regions that I would say are important. The ones that matter. And as far as I'm concerned right now, I just need to be focusing on getting... I need to do some puzzle solving right now to make sure that I have the troops in Antioch and Edessa that I need to survive the next attack. It's probably going to be coming in the next turn. I can start sending troops from the homelands here in England or in continental Europe, just because I don't know if I'm going to need so many troops here. I'm allied with the Italians. Yeah, it's scary that they have 3 stacks in Toulouse, but that's just the way it goes. The French reemergence is here. They've been pretty tepid, but still, I can't just give them an opportunity. So I can't just abandon these provinces, you know? I can't just really trust that things are going to be going okay. It would be nice if the French attacked the Germans, because the Germans are weak, actually. They're kind of falling apart. So that would be preferable, but we don't know if that's going to be the case. And I do have Longbowmen finally being trained up here in Wales. In fact, I should probably just bring all 4 of these units to Antioch so that I can bring them to Edessa in the next turn. And I should probably bring Prince Henry. You have 9 men left in your unit, and despite the fact that you have the no mercy trait, which sucks, I kind of like the theme of him having led 2 successful defensive sorties against the Mongols. So I kind of want to bring him back somewhere so that he can be retrained. He would have to come back to Brittany, which is kind of a bit of a journey. But getting him to be retrained, and he would also get retrained as a high period Royal Knight, so he'd get more armor as well. So that's valuable, I suppose. Yeah, there's value in that. So I would have to bring Lord Berkeley, 5-star general, great warrior, that's a good one. Gentle knight, +3 morale. All right, that's good. Yeah, I think that he's going to be taking over the defense of Edessa, at least for a few turns. And then, yeah, Prince Henry will hang out in Antioch for now. But I was looking around before I started recording. Prince William is my second youngest son, I believe. Yeah, so he's not going to be taking over command of anything. But he could be kind of like a spot gap commander in Antioch while Prince Henry is getting retrained in Brittany. What does Prince William offer? He's a 1-star general, so nothing too crazy, right? And he does have killer instinct, so +2 valor. That's, you know, so yeah, he has that. So he's going to be a good fighter. His unit's going to fight well. So he can be brought down to Antioch in the next turn. And then I think, were these guys brought up here so that they could be brought to Antioch as well? I kind of think they were. Militia sergeants, kerns, and crossbows. Yeah, that kind of feels like it, but I'm going to have to spend some time getting these units organized so that I'm prepared to face whatever's going to be coming in the next turn. There is something that I want to start planning for, just because I can foresee this being an issue further down in the campaign. It already is starting to show itself, and of course it is Poland. I've talked a lot about it already, but if the Mongols don't neutralize the Polish presence or threat, and they just continue to stack points, then I'm going to have to do something about it. Now, the most straightforward way to address these sorts of issues is just to invade them. I could do that. I border some Polish provinces via my navies, so I can always do a naval invasion. That's one of the reasons why having a strong naval presence is so important in this game, is just so that if you have to neutralize someone that's on the far side of the map, you know, border them via land, you can just still attack them. So that is an option. I don't think the Polish naval presence is too formidable. They have some boats. There's a caravel. That caravel could probably beat my 2 barks, so I'd have to definitely beef up my naval presence there. But, you know, I could do it. I mean, I can build caravels myself. Looks like they have another caravel right there. So, yeah, they have some boats in the water. They have a bark right there. But I could probably, you know, get in there. The other option, though, is that, you know, you see, if I invade the Polish Empire, as you can see, it's vast. So you can kind of get lost in that. And that could be a lot of work, right? Another way to do this and to bring down an empire without having to even shed a drop of my own blood of my own countrymen, or should I say very little blood, is to use my agents. And what I like about, one of those things I like about this game is that that's possible. You can use agents to really just bring down an empire. And that's something that I've really been behind on in this campaign. I've just been going full on economy and military, just the basics, you know, navy, stuff like that, that I haven't been able to really put the resources into developing my agent training infrastructure, which is unfortunate. It is. It's the year 1236, and I'm in the Stone Ages when it comes to my espionage ability. I'm still in the process of getting bishops in every single province so that I have vision everywhere. So I'm doing well here. I have vision via my navies of all the coastal provinces, but I still want to get my bishops in all of the coastal provinces, just because the other factions' navies do stop me from seeing everything. Like this Italian boat is stopping me from seeing the details of this army. Oh, wait, what? Is it because they're my allies? Oh no, I see. Yeah, right. I have a bishop here. That's why I can see these things. If I did not have a bishop here, I would not be able to see the details of this army, for instance. I think there's an actual example somewhere like this. Yeah, like I can't see the actual makeup of these armies here in Portugal or Leon, and yeah, you get the idea. So I do want to have bishops everywhere. But that's not enough. I definitely want also to have spies in all of my own provinces, just to increase my own public order. But then I also want to get spies who are able to go into enemy territory. Having bishops that can scout out regions to see who has and who does not have border forts is very helpful, because then I will lose less spies and assassins. But then, yeah, spies can reduce public order in other factions to provinces. Assassins obviously can kill high-profile people, generals, kings, princes. They can kill agents, of course, as well. So they can do a lot of work to reduce stuff. Spies also can do things like they can reduce loyalty in generals by continually spying on them, which is pretty cool. They end up going down a virtue line where they end up losing loyalty, which is really, really neat. And the same thing with Inquisitors. Inquisitors can be used on Catholic factions that will reduce dread. So if you reduce dread in people who are governors, then the province that they are governing is going to be losing that dread boost, right? So there's things you can do. I think even assassination attempts, like failed assassination attempts, I think also do something. I can't remember off the top of my head what that would be. I'd have to double check that. But essentially, you know, using agents, you can just really destabilize an entire region without having to send your armies in. So that's probably going to be the way that I go about this here against the Poles. I would probably just use my agents to destabilize them. Where is... I can't even find their freaking king. Where... They have such a large territory. Where... There you are. 40 years old, 5 influence. It's crazy. You only have 5 influence. This is what we're looking at. The strongest Polish empire I've ever seen before. 5 influence. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Strange, so that sucks for him. Minus 10 happiness, minus 1 morale. But yeah, that's not the worst. It's clearly they're doing okay. Let's see, who has border forts? Wallachia, I was going to say Wallace. Wallachia has a border fort. You have a border fort. You do. Man, does everyone have a border fort? It's such a cheap building, so you may as well build it. But typically, you can usually find a way in. Jesus, they all have border forts. Okay, I don't have any vision on Kiev. Pereslavl. Jesus, they all... yeah. Every province that I have vision on has border forts. So using agents is going to be tough. That's so bizarre. Yeah, that many border forts, eh? That's one thing I like about Rome, is that in Rome you can use assassins to destroy buildings, or at least damage them, which is pretty cool. I do like that. But you can't do that in this game. So that makes things harder, for sure. You can still get agents inside of settlements that have border forts, but you have to valor them up, and then you also have to go in multiple at a time. I think that there's like a limit. I think a border fort can only catch 1 agent at a time, I think. That's kind of what I'm getting around to. I did test this a bit more in my last campaign playing as Egypt, and I was seeing, like, you know, how much valor does someone need to reliably get in? And I think, like, you know, valor 0 through like valor 1 and 2, I just was not getting guys in. Like even valor 2 guys, you can build up your tech so that you can just train valor 2 spies and assassins. I think you can even get valor 3 assassins, I think, but I was not getting guys inside of... I was not getting them past border forts. But then when I started sending them in 2 at a time, the border fort would only catch like 1, and then the other one would get in. So I think that's the way that has to be played. So that's a long way of me saying that I should probably start going here. Scotland and Ireland, not the most vital provinces, but it's nice having more provinces where I can train stuff. Now, the thing is, Ireland and Scotland both do train soldiers. They both, like, right now, Ireland's being used for kerns, and I do want to build back up so that I can train gallow glasses here. That would be nice. Can I even do that? Okay, I still can. Okay, I was wondering if that's going to be an early game only unit, but it looks like I could still train them. That would be cool. I would like that. Getting some gallow glasses going, but can already train Highland clansmen in Scotland. Northumbria would be nice, because Northumbria, it used to be able to train Fearedman, but that's no longer available. So now I'm thinking, all right, well, let's just use Northumbria for something else. So once it's finished building this church, I can also transition this to being an agent-producing province. For now, though, in Scotland, let's go tavern. You have to build a tavern so that you can build the brothel, which is the building that trains spies, and the tavern is where you can get the assassins. So tavern first, gonna take 4 turns, and we already have we have a keep here in Scotland. Okay, so I think we can build. Yeah, the brothel requires a castle. That's right. Yeah, you can't get spies until tier 3. They really capped the strength of spies in this game because they were so powerful in Shogun that they're like, no, none of that. Can't have too much fun. Ireland, I think I do want the gal glasses. Let's get a swordsmith going. Armor piercing, two-handed maniacs just sounds really cool, so let's get those guys. I'm done shuffling units around. Hopefully this is going to be enough to get me through this end turn, so let's see how it goes. I brought in what I could. I have at least 3 billmen in Edessa, 3 relatively healthy units. Okay, so the Poles are still fighting the Mongols. I like to see it. But I feel like that was a winning fight for the Poles based on what I just saw. And there's going to be any pushback. Okay, so yeah, the Mongols are attacking Edessa again. I thought I saw some Mongol forces moving up to Georgia as if they were maybe moving up to the steppe, which would be nice. And yeah, it's interesting. You see, like it's a relatively even, right? Like they outnumber me by 5 guys. That's it. So they could be bringing more, but they're not, which is nice of them. You know, I guess that fits. The Mongols are historically a very gentlemanly folk. You know, they're really known for their chivalry and all that. So yeah, this I guess that'll make sense. And let's see, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Mongol heavy cav. Oh, that's it. Oh, yes. Only 8 of the best heavy cav in the game. Oh, that's fine. It's who's afraid? Not me. No, not at all. So what do they have for reinforcements? Only 4 more. Yeah, it's just, what are these? Oh, they want to take it easy on me. Oh, nope. I missed a few. Okay, let me try to count this. 4, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's it. Only 9 Mongol heavy cav in reserve. Gosh, I thought this was going to be an actual fight, but no, they're just going to let me win. I'm being sarcastic if you couldn't tell. That was all sarcasm. That's a lot. So yeah, it's a lot. No horse archers in the opening wave, which is interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. The way that it's kind of spaced out here, I kind of like some things that I'm seeing. If I can win the first wave, how many is this again? I can't even count that. 5, 6, 8. I feel like 8 is how much I faced in that last battle, in the opening wave, that is. So that went okay, right? So, yeah. And I have a better general now, objectively speaking. Lord Berkeley with his awesome 5 stars. He's going to be there. And we got some billmen. They're mostly fine. That unit's a little bit damaged, but you know, what of it. Bring up that 3rd unit and they will be fine. And then let's see, let's do some archers, just do 3 of them. We don't need 4, so I'll figure out what else I want from that. I'm not going to need that 65 man unit of Celtic warriors. They served their purpose in that last battle, but I'm not going to need them, I don't think, in this battle. I only used 1 Fearedman unit in that last battle, but I got some ordered foot soldiers here. So I might not need to bring these Fearedmen in. I'll think about it though. I'm really light on heavy cav. I know that. I only have this early period unit of Royal Knights and then a 17-man unit of high period Royal Knights, which is, you know, it's still fine. They got 4 Valor as well, so that's good. Yeah, I might bring both of those units. Maybe. I'll think about it. It looks like we have ourselves a 3rd map here in as many battles, which is interesting. So not a single reuse of the same map. And you know, on initial glances, I think I'm liking this map. I like having basically like a connected forest going to the back of the map to here, which it gives me options. It means that I can bring reinforcements on and take reinforcements off, all under the cover of forest, essentially. If I do want to hold this forward hill. Now do I want to? I don't have to. This is a pretty good hill. This is a pretty good hill, and it's a pretty good forest, so... Sure, there's some openings here on this side. This might be where they attack from, but... That, you know, that still gives us a decent little section here that's on the slope that is forested, so yeah, I kind of like what I'm seeing here. Now, does this provide me anything that the other one doesn't? It's a lower hill, and they could kind of get on the lip here and attack into me, where I would be in the forest, but on the downhill slope, which isn't ideal. So no, I think the answer is no. This doesn't really give me anything that this one doesn't. Oh, I got some buildings over there as well. Probably don't want to hold it, but I can take a little gander, eh? Check it out. It's some of them are outside of the deployment zone. They're a bit spread out. It's not really it's not really a position I want to hang on to. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm just going to play things safe and hang out on the hill that's closest to my deployment zone. This is how we're looking to get set up. We have spears in the front, archers in the back, backed up by billmen, and then I do some feudal men-at-arms and some militia sergeants just to kind of fill out the ranks, give me a bit more melee prowess. They're both solid, right? Feudal men-at-arms are kind of a basic all-arounder, not good against cav, but in the forest they at least can hold like a gap for a little while. And militia sergeants will do a bit better than the feudal men-at-arms because of the bonus versus armor. This is a stronger cav component that I had in the last battle as well. Some decent heavy cav. It's a bit, you know, it's not gonna go open field against the Mongol heavy cav, but it's there. And then I brought hobblers instead of the Turcopoles because I saw that all of that Mongol horse archers are going to be in the subsequent waves for this. So I would rather save my Turcopoles and my backup archers to counter those waves, and I would rather have a better melee force. Now, obviously, hobblers are not known for being a really heavy-duty melee force, but they are better than the Turcopoles in a scrap, and also if they're going to be hunting down the on-foot, the infantry Mongol warriors, they're going to be killing them faster than the Turcopoles as well, so that was the idea there. Let's make sure that my groups are set up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just to get started off with, I'm going to be making sure that these guys are positioned with spears in front and archers in the back. And that's all I care about. Then I can just wait for them. I would imagine that they're going to be coming from over here. Ooh, now that's not where I want that flag. So let me place the assembly point. Place assembly point. Let's do that somewhere. Like, what's going on here? There we go. Or here. There we go. I always like it when they send forth a unit to go scout. In some ways, it makes a lot of sense, right? To scout out ahead. And since they don't have any horse archers, they're going to send this, like, you know, infantry Mongol warrior unit to go scout. And that's a free unit, I think. Yeah, I can go pick them off. I'm going to bring my hobblers down here, and they're creeping down the slope, and they're thinking that they're going to be able to run down that unit of Mongol warriors before they can get away, and before they can get help from their buds. So let's send that unit there to cut them off, and then you can go there, just run right at them. So yeah, you're going to be going around the back, and if they start to run away, they are going to get caught. Yeah, that's going to be a bad... Any reaction? No, it doesn't seem like it. And yeah, they've realized, oh no, why did we do that? It's because your bosses don't care about you, that's why. Yeah, they just sent you out to die. I mean, my men aren't hidden. At least those ones aren't. I'm sure they can see from where they are that we are here. So, you know, sending you out to die wasn't necessary? actually, it seems like the Mongols seem like they're going to be doing a split push here, which is interesting. So they're bringing out most of their heavy cav over to this side, and then their infantry, and I imagine their generals in there as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's going to be 2 units of Mongol heavy cav in that force. That's including the general. So based on what I'm seeing, I do want my spears and archers facing more like this. And then billmen facing like this. I think is kind of what I want. But then I'm going to want the spears and the archers on this side to kind of curl up. I don't want to, you know, be stuck out like that. And then where's my reserve? Yeah, field men-at-arms and militia sergeants. You can hang there, I think. And I hear cav rumbling. So let's go like that. And how close are they? Yep, they're charging in. Okay. And yeah, they're getting close as well. So yeah, you guys get formed up. That looks okay from what I'm seeing. I kind of like my positioning. I think I'm okay. Yeah, Billman and Spears, that looks okay. I would like to have the Order foot soldiers over here instead of the Fearedmen, but what can you do? Sometimes you just got to do what you can do. So yeah, you know, facing a lot of Mongol warriors, it's a little haggard, but I mean, we got hobblers on this side that they could pounce. They could pounce on in if they see an opportunity. Royal Knights as well, they could jump in. Alright, how are we doing? So 33 Mongol warriors, so they've already lost 7 guys. That's nice. Yeah, they're taking casualties, despite the fact that they're, you know, heavily armored. They're still taking some shots. And it looks like my archers aren't being... They're not having too much of their shots being blocked by trees, which is nice as well. I think that unit is, but this unit seems like it's able to get some damage in. And yeah, able to do some damage against those Mongol warriors. That's always nice. Yeah, those Mongol warriors on that side are going to be a little bit scary. I think I want these militia sergeants to be over on this side, I think, is kind of what I'm thinking. And then, kind of feels like they're aiming for my hobblers. Let's bring my hobblers back and bring Royal Knights down. Because if they're going to be coming around... And let's just kind of charge on at them because they want to get into the flank of that unit, so let's not let them do that. And then let's send Billman here. Here. Like that. Yeah, that's fine. And then just charge into the rear of them, or flank or whatever. Because yeah, now they're kind of caught in a weird spot. So let's bring these Order foot soldiers like this. But these Billmen should just tear these guys to pieces. Yeah, having those Billmen be like... Or Billmen, Fearedmen, whatever. Yeah. It's a little bit dodgy. Let's bring you over to cover down. So yeah, he just got eaten alive. And okay, now... Ooh, tricky. Mongol warrior sends Royal Knights into the flank here. Let's put him on wedge formation and give him a bit more attack bonuses against them. And I think I want to send feudal men-at-arms in just... Well, nope. Actually, no, not you. Militia sergeants, go in. Oh, never mind. They're going to withdraw. That's fine. So let's make sure you guys don't chase. So let's go here. And you go back. All right. How are we doing? I kind of want to get up here if I can. Shoot. Yeah, this is kind of messy. Billman got overextended, which is never a good sign. I mean, they will, you know, do very well, but having units get overextended like this isn't ideal. Yes. I think I need to send more Billmen down. I hate committing guys out of the forest. That feels very bad, but the first wave is the wave that counts. You know, like I have to win the first wave. If I don't win the first wave, then I'm kind of screwed. So, yeah, they're like doing well enough to make me think it's going okay. So let's go here. Let's just sergeants go here, and yeah, Royal Knights go here. I'll take you out of wedge in a moment. And can we retreat, you guys? Nope, you're just gonna get hammered and hammered and hammered. That sucks. Alright, let's send more... no, let's not send more Billmen down. There's already a unit of Billmen in here, so they should be fine. If we can kill the general, that's going to be good. Let's take you guys out of wedge formation now, so you can just get more models into the attack. If we can kill the general, that's going to be nice. Alright, and yeah, they're running away. I'm okay with that. Get away, guys. Get away, get away, get away. I don't want to leave my positions out, though. I don't want to leave any gaps in my line, or, you know, I don't want to leave any more gaps in my line. They're going to try to commit to this fight to help protect their general, and if I can select my feudal men-at-arms and bring them down. Yeah, Royal Knights and Militia Sergeants, Order Foot Soldiers. I don't know why you're over here, because you need to be over here. Alright, who's running away? Billmen? Damn, Billmen are running away. No shit. That's shocking. Yeah, that's shocking. Okay, you guys come down here, and I need to bring my general closer as well. Alright, there we go. That helps. That helps. Alright, you come down here. Alright, so we just have to stop this break. My general's nearby, so he can provide some assistance to this part of the line. Yeah, Billman, you chill out. Yeah, they made a really good press during this battle. Alright, let's try to bring my Order Foot Soldiers up here. And you do not need to chase. Come back up. Come back up here. And then let's get my hobblers around to start chasing down Mongol warriors, because I feel like we're going to be getting an opening soon to do so. So yeah, they're going well. They're going well. Let's get my general back now. Nope, not you, my general, if I can. Let's see if I can select him. Yeah, you come back up. And then you guys... You guys, yeah, start hunting down. Because yeah, I think there's like one unit of Mongol heavy cav. Alright, so we still have that one unit we have to deal with, but I think that our... let's see, that's 13 Mongol warriors. I don't know, I don't want to lose my hobblers. Like, let's not commit. There's still too many like Mongol heavy cav floating around. And then same thing with you guys, let's not commit yet. False alarm, false alarm. So you turn here, and then Billmen come down here. And then you guys can get a rear charge, that's fine. That's fine. We can win that fight with the support of our spears. Feudal men-at-arms, definitely, you are way overextended. And Royal Knights chasing down Mongol warriors, that's fine, because I don't see any Mongol heavy cav in support. Did those other Mongol heavy cav just... Yeah, okay, they're just... Yeah, they're running away. Never mind then. Let's get my hobblers back into action so that we can run down these Mongol warriors. That's fine. Yeah, so we should win that fight. Yeah, they're running away. That's fine. Let's get these spearmen back. Let's not get overextended here and then here. That looks okay. Perfect. So let's run these guys down. Let's go here and get those guys. And then, yeah, just go in. Go in. Kill, kill, kill. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Do I send my general? I think I do. I think I do. And then you guys, you're still running down those 5 Mongol warriors. That's fine. The Mongols are now bringing on reinforcements. So it's time for me to stop my chase here. And hopefully I can get these 9 Royal Knights back. I'm bringing on... What do we have here? Allen Mercenary Cav, Naphtha Throwers, Mongol Horse Archers. And yeah, I think I'm seeing the 2 Mongol Heavy Cav units. I'm pretty sure I can deal with those. Do I have any units that I want to bring off? I might want to withdraw these guys, actually, if they can make it back. I should probably... Gosh, do I withdraw 15 Billmen? Because my Billmen got kind of beat up. There's this one unit that's fine, 55 men. But then 15 men, and then 33 on the other unit, wherever you guys are. Back here. I might need all of those guys. And the militia sergeants as well got pretty beat up as well. Yeah, we took some casualties in that little scrap right there. I am going to withdraw these 9 Royal Knights. They are exhausted, and I kind of doubt they're going to be too useful in this the rest of this battle here. So hopefully we can hold until some more archers coming on. These archers still have some ammunition, but I would like to have more than just the 3 units now that I'm dealing with their Mongol horse archer horde here. So now we're being more careful about keeping all of my men inside of the forest, whereas before I was kind of out in the open a little bit just because I wanted, well, I mean, I knew I wasn't facing off against their Mongol horse archers, so I wasn't that careful. And yeah, you guys are kind of screwed up here. Let's see if I can get you guys reformed here. And there's a funny thing I should say, you know, so there's a lot of talk about how in this game, spears in the forest do not get their rank bonus. And this is something that I'm curious about because does that just... I've always interpreted that to mean that the trees break up the formation. So if there's a, you know, a person in the front rank that doesn't have a guy right behind him, then they are not getting that second person fighting. But is there an actual like no rank debuff the unit is experiencing when they're fighting the forest? Or is it more granular? Is it just more, you know, on a tree by tree basis? Like here, this gap here, because there's a tree right there. Like there's no rank bonus, yeah, because there's a tree right there. Like that's one thing. Or is the entire unit suffering? Because these guys look like they're in ranks, you know, in line, in neat formation. Are these guys not going to be fighting as well? I mean, they're in a forest. They're just in a part of the forest that doesn't have any trees, which is ideal, right? So yeah, that's something I've always wondered about because I don't really know the answer to that. Oh, we got some Mongol horse archers. Wow, you guys kind of snuck right in. All right. Didn't see these guys. Let's see here. They probably beat my hobblers, to be honest. Yeah, Mongol horse archers are pretty beastly. Let's put some of my militia sergeants and field sergeants down here, just to kind of screen them out. Because yeah, they're trying to get around here. Let's put Billman here. I wasn't expecting Mongol horse archers to try to get into melee. I kind of thought they were going to just hang out and shoot at me. We have begun the skirmish phase of this next assault here, this next wave. And the Mongol horse archers, oh actually, just as I say that looks like a retreat. Yeah, it looks like they kind of poked their heads in and thought, nope, we don't want none of that. They still got some billmen in there. So let's fast this forward because I kind of, yeah, that looks like, oh, okay, I don't know. Kerns, yeah, you can go back to the forest. You definitely don't want to be out in the open. But that looks like battle over to me. Ta-da! All right, yeah, that felt okay. That felt all right, and I am going to be killing all 360 men. This is that different general, so we should not be getting that lax mercy trait or no mercy trait just after one slaughter. So we killed 419 and captured 360 that we just killed as well. Lost 251. So not bad. Not bad at all. Hobblers got some valor. Yeah, that felt pretty good. Hobblers got valor. Billman got some valor for 102 kills, 42 lost. And then archers got valor. Damn, archers got valor. No shit. For 40 men killed. All right, that's good. That's kind of surprising. And then militia sergeants got 2 points of valor for 44 kills, but they lost 32 men. Yeah, not bad. All right. Yeah, that was pretty solid, I have to say. I have to imagine they still just have a million Mongol heavy cav though around me. So the Italians are going to retreat from Rome. Okay. And finally, this King of England I've been saying for multiple episodes that this guy's about to die, and he's finally died. He's like 74 or 5 or something. Yeah, freaking G, man. Hopefully his next in line has some kids, because he's like 40 by now. So church finished in Northumbria. That feels good. Town watch in Brittany. Why was I building a town watch here? Oh yeah, I think I required a town watch so that I need an armor. Like I need a 2nd tier or 3rd tier armor so that I can get feudal knights, I think. So yeah, I needed to get a town watch, which yeah, kind of caught me by surprise. All right, Lord Berkeley, Scant mercy. Yeah, okay, right, okay. Got a little nervous there. So +1 dread for him. Yep, I knew that was coming. Any other starred generals have any So yeah, secret blackmailer is not good, but it's not as bad as blackmailer, which is even worse. So I need to check his loyalty to make sure that he's gonna be okay. And Henry Roos, honest, +1 loyalty. All right, are you gonna be okay? Yeah, you're fine. You have like 7 loyalty. You're fine. You are fine. So does it? You know, how are the Mongols looking after that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 heavy cav there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. So that seems like less. That seems like a significantly less amount than they had before, but I can't remember the exact amount. And now we can bring in... Where are they? Yes, we can bring in longbowmen. Attack me now, Mongols. Please attack me now. I've been wanting to shoot Mongols with longbowmen this entire campaign, so please. Please, please, please. That could be fun. And they have like bonus, they have armor piercing hatchets, axes that they use in close combat too. So even if, you know, like how does a longbowman do against Mongol heavy cav in a forest in melee? Like that feels like it might actually go okay. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. So these guys need to go back to Brittany to get retrained. Yes, you go there, and then you, Prince William, that is? Yeah, Prince William, you just hold down the fort here in Antioch for now. And we can bring more of these troops up to Edessa as well. I'll take a look at this in a moment, but I want to... So yes, Prince John is now King John, so that means Sir Nigel Gascoigne, who... This used to be Simon de Montfort, but now he's going to be the General of Palestine, because I knew that Prince John, is that it? Where is he? He's down here. Okay. King John II. Ooh, 3 influence. Damn, dude. Damn. All right, that's rough. Yeah, that sucks. Secret Envy. All right, +1 dread, -2 loyalty. Gentle Knight, +3 morale, -3 dread. And Killer Instinct, +2 valor, +1 dread. All right. So 1 dread, 2 piety, 2 command, 1 acumen. What about his sons? Does he have any sons? Yes. So Prince Alfred is his son. I'm pretty sure. And he's going to be of age in 6 turns. And you're going to be 45. So that's fine. That works. That's all we need. All we need is 1. More is better, but, you know, 1 is enough. Well, I have just now been spending some time getting my armies reorganized and shuffled around again so that I can prepare to face off against the next assault via the Mongols. I imagine they will continue to attack me. Or will they? You know, will they eventually decide that enough is enough? They have already attacked 3 times, and I thought that I saw troops moving from Armenia to Georgia, and if that direction continues, they might be deciding that this front is more important than this front. And I hope so. I hope they realize that. In fact, actually, I kind of forgot in that last turn, I should probably continue to try to get a ceasefire if I can. I don't need to be at war with the Mongols. If I can convince them of that. So, yeah, that could be nice. But in the meantime, if they want to continue to attack Edessa, I have my longbows. Here they are. So bring it. Yes, bring it one more time just for that. I just want to see those guys in action. It's a unit that I've been wanting to use for such a long time, and I've barely used them in this game. So I think could be pretty fun. But I'm not going to be playing another end turn during this episode just because I've already kind of got to the end of my recording session, and these battles can be pretty long. So I'm going to be calling it here. But before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. I also did start a membership, so if you want to become a member to the channel, that would help out as well. That's awesome. Until next time, this has been Conestep playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.